Welcome back to second half action of this game between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. This was played in November of 2023, and we're using the soon-to-be released game engine Play Action Football. Gamer asked me on Facebook, like, how easy is the game to just sort of set aside, because if you only have a half hour or so at a time to be able to play a game, is it easy to kind of put it away and get back into it, or does it take a lot of setup, or is that even possible to kind of put it away? But since I've recorded the game before, I haven't touched it, so you can see we're in the second, the start of the second half, and I'll just show you how the setup goes. These are all the dice that I typically keep. This is how I keep it next to my workstation. At the kitchen table, and so this is just kind of how I pull it out. Gonna keep the stats up here, keep them up here. We got our team cards. I just put the other cards over here, the charts that we use for kicking and stuff. We'll keep that there. Remember how I had it before, maybe something like this, I think. Let's get this all straightened up on here. I think I had it something like this. And then for the second half kickoff, it's Minnesota kicking off to New Orleans, so I'll have it like that. I have it written down here. Minnesota got the first half kickoff, New Orleans gets the second half, so just helps me to remember. I like to set up my dice with the quarter. I do have the quarters up here that you can use if you want to use tokens. It's just as easy for me to indicate the quarter on the dice. And we should put New Orleans here. So just like that, and you could probably, I used to stagger the teams, so something a little bit like that, just so you can see the defensive information for each team. This team would be on defense and offense. So there you go, that's the setup. So if you just did one quarter at a time, it'd be super easy. You just got to keep track of who's got the ball, who's going to get the ball next, that type of thing. I also will sometimes take a picture of this game board here, and then that'll let me know, especially if I have the quarters and the time and all that kind of stuff. So if you just needed to stop in the middle of a quarter, you just take a picture of the game situation. I just take it with my phone, and then whenever I'm ready to set it back up, I'll just set the game information back up as it was in the picture. So that's another easy way to do it, and setup just takes less than a minute generally. All right, so let's get into the let's get into the third quarter here, and let's just roll all these. Minnesota's going to be kicking off, so that's a 6 on a kickoff, and a 6 is going to be a touchback. So New Orleans will take over first and 10 at their own 25, and just mark that down for Minnesota. So first and 10, New Orleans. That's going to be a medium pass against the base defense. That pass is going to go to Shaheed, and medium against the base is a -2, so that's a tough one. So 11 minus 2 is 9. 9 on a medium pass is going to be an incompletion. So Minnesota forces the incompletion on the first play coming out. First play of the game, first pass of the game was an interception. So an incompletion is a step up, I guess. This is going to be a screen pass And the advantage is -1 to Minnesota. We have a 20. The screen pass is going to go to Shahid as well. So 20 minus 1 is 19. 19 on the screen is going to be a D10 plus a D6. So we'll roll these together and we'll add. That's 12 yards. So nice roll there. Gain of a first down for the Saints. Out to the 37. I never really covered the clock, but any completed passes, rushing plays are going to be 30 seconds off the clock. Incomplete passes, punts, field goals. What else? I've got it listed here. Incomplete passes, punts, kickoffs, and field goals. So kickoffs with a run back. And field goals are going to be 15 seconds. Rushes, completed passes, sacks, and interceptions all take off 30 seconds. So when you get into the marked zones here at the end of the half, either the first or the second half, those are an obligatory hurry-up offense. But you can just kind of call out, hey, I'm just in the regular offense, and just kind of still do the 30 seconds. The hurry-up offense is everything is 15 seconds. So that's how timing generally works in all of my play-by-play games. That's kind of what I settled on, and just what we're going with. If you have a different timing system for a different game, you can feel free to use that. All right, 1st and 10 for the Saints from their own 37. This is going to be a medium pass, again, into the teeth of the defense. So it's a -2. We got 17 minus 2 is 15 on a medium, is D10 plus 5. So that's going to be a 9-yard gain. So coming out hot here in the beginning of the third quarter. The Saints are moving the ball. They're all the way out to their own 46 now. This will be an outside run against a base blitz is a -1. They keep running up against the defense is getting the advantage, but you can see that you can still gain yards even though you're calling a play that should technically get get stopped. It's really about the roll here. Excuse me. So it's a -1 on a 13, so 12 on an outside run is going to be good for 6 yards, and that'll pick up a first down. Only a handful of rushing first downs for the Saints in this one. That's going to be 4, 5, 6. And I do plan to include this field. You can use any sort of field setup that you want to keep track of down and distance. First down and 10. This is going to be a screen pass from New Orleans that goes to Thomas. So a little screen out to the edge. And against the base, that's going to be a -1. So another minus play. Basically, it removes this 1 here. So a 7 on a screen is going to go completed, but for 0 yards. So that'll take 2 ticks off for the completed pass, but we don't move the yardage marker. Second down and 10. And this will be a short pass. So coming out throwing here in the second half. Short pass against the blitz will be a 0, so no advantage there. A 6 on a short pass is a pass deflection. The pass was going out to Shahid, so that's going to be an incomplete pass. So that's an incompletion and only 15 seconds off the clock, but it does bring up third down. 3rd and 10 from the 48. We're going to call out the medium pass, so we need some yardage here. And medium pass, so we can safely just basically ignore that. It would have been a short pass if we go by the autoplay calling, but I'm calling it out myself. So short or medium pass against the nickel blitz. And so I am using this one to find out the defense. Nickel blitz is going to be a -1. So 20 minus 1, this is to Thomas, is a 19. 19 on a medium pass is going to be good for 22 yards. So big time play there. So 10, 20, +2. Takes it down to the 26-yard line. Big time throw and catch there to Michael Thomas for a first down. And the Saints are really in business here. They're at the Vikings 26. This is their first drive of the second half. Got 12 minutes left in the third quarter. Screen pass here, and that will be a -1. The screen is going to go to Thomas, so out to Thomas again. 14 minus 1 is 13. 13 on the screen is going to be good for 8. So is a D6 roll plus 4. And that's going to be 8 yards on the screen pass. Brings up second down and 2 for New Orleans. Another screen pass. This goes to against the blitz. So screen against the blitz is going to be good for no advantage. So a 10 on the screen is a D6 roll. So another 4-yard gain. And just like that, the Saints pick up another first down. We didn't do our 8. So it's 8 plus 4. And that's going to be first and 10 from inside the red zone. The 14. The Saints with another screen pass and out to Thomas again. Why not? Keeps working. So that's going to be a -1. 14 minus 1 is 13. D6 plus 4. Another 8 yards on a screen pass. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So 8 yards takes it down to the 6. Second down and 2 for New Orleans. This is an outside run against the blitz. It's going to be a -1, so basically you take this away. An 8 on an outside run is good for 2 yards. Oh, that's actually going to be first down. So 1, 2. Could challenge that, not going to do that. So 2-yard run for the first down. We started the second half tied at 17. Can't remember. I think it was New Orleans who tied it up at the end of the half. First and goal. We got our goal to go page, our goal line plays. And this is a short pass against the base blitz. So that's going to be a 0, so no advantage. 12 on the short pass is good for 4 yards. And that will be a 4-yard touchdown for New Orleans. As they punch it in. I'll take that off the clock. The extra point, we don't even have to roll for it, so it's good for them. And they take the 24-17 lead over the Vikings. Really nice drive there from New Orleans. And get the kickoff. Kickoff is 67 yards, so that's going to be 2 yards deep in the end zone. Going to run that out. That's a, let's go ahead and, we don't really know. So that's going to be a chance for a breakaway play. So I'm going to play this as the breakaways. So we've talked about the breakaway chart for different plays, right? So when you have a 20 on a play, then there's a chance to add to it. I play that with the punting on a 10 and also with the kickoffs on a 10. So that gives you an opportunity for a huge play or a kick return for a TD. So that's what we're going to do here. We have a 10. A 10 on a kickoff is going to be 40 yards. So minus the 2, that's out to the 38. We can take our 15 seconds off. So minus the 2, that's out to the 38. Let's go ahead and roll. And this time we're going to roll off of the breakaway chart. So if it's a 5 or greater, there's a chance to add on to that kick return. It's a 9, and this is going to be a touchdown. 10, so 60 yards is what it says. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Down to the 2. So almost. So run it all the way back. And it's going to be first and 10 at the 2. Yeah, it was 100 yards, 60 plus 40. But the kick went 2 yards deep in the end zone. so there's no score. All right, but a great play, right? So exciting. 60 and 67. So technically 100 yards on the return, but because he returned it 2 yards deep in the end zone, that is at the 2-yard line. So first and goal for Minnesota. That could be a huge game-changing play, and that's why you have the breakaways in there, because every once in a while you're gonna get that sort of thing. It would have been a TD had the kick been anything at the goal line or shorter. So here we go. First and goal for Minnesota. This is an outside run to a base defense. That's a 0. So we have a 6 on the outside run. It's good for no yards. They get stuffed up by the New Orleans defensive line. Brings up second down and 2. Second down and goal from the 2. This is a medium pass against the base defense. So it's going to be a +1 advantage. A 6 + 1 is 7. 7 on a medium pass is incomplete. So this will be a huge stop for New Orleans to give up the big kick return and then stop them at the goal line. Third down. This is going to be another medium pass. This is against the goal line, and that's going to be a +2 advantage, so that's pretty good. 15-17 on a medium pass, D10 +10. We have to make sure that this is not too big a number, though. So we had 12 yards, so 10, 11, 12 yards that we have available. D10, 2 + 10 is 12. So tiptoeing in the back of the end zone. And you know what? We're going to they're going to challenge the catch on this one. So coach's challenge. So New Orleans is going to throw the red flag on this, and they're going to challenge this in the back of the end zone before I move anything. The way we do a coach's challenge, we did this in the first half, is we have our results here. So it's either overturned or it's upheld. We can challenge a catch, whether a play is a catch or not. So on this one, we're going to challenge the fact that he got his feet in at the back of the end zone. So we're right at the edge of the end zone. We have 12 yards to work with, and it was a 12. So we're right at the back of the end zone. We're going to challenge the not the catch. We're going to challenge the fact that he got his feet in bounds. So if the challenge is upheld, touchdown. If the challenge is overturned, he didn't get both feet down, we control the ball, and it's an incomplete pass. So that's how we're going to roll with this. So we roll 1d10. Let's roll one you can see. Roll 1d10. A 1, 2, 9, or 10 is an overturned call. Oh my gosh. And the play is overturned by the referees. That's going to be an incomplete pass. And that's going to bring up 4th down and goal. Man, oh man, oh man. I'm going to have to go back and look at what the challenge things are, but we've used a challenge. I don't know if they if you keep a challenge, if it's upheld. I can't remember the challenge rules. I have to look that up. So Minnesota lost their challenge in the first half. The Saints win theirs in the second. Boy. Okay, we're going to go for this. Minnesota can't waste this opportunity. 4th and goal from the 2. And let's see. We're going to run the outside run. That's going to give us the best opportunity. All right. I realize we're using the wrong team here. So outside run. I don't know if that had any effect on the play. Probably not. outside run against the goal line defense. That's going to be a -1 to the defense. We got a 3, and that's not going to work. That's going to be a fumble. Oh boy. So it's going to be first down regardless. So that's a fumble. So a 2 minus the 1 basically cancels this out. So a 2 on an outside run is going to be a fumble. So on 4th down and goal, trying to get to the outside, we have a fumble. On a running play, our fumbles are here. It's a 3. 3 is the line of scrimmage plus a D6. So the line of scrimmage plus 5 is 3 yards deep in the end zone. That's going to be a touchback. Better than a run back, I guess. But New Orleans is going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Wow. So Minnesota can't capitalize on the huge kickoff return. And now they're back on defense. That was really just a poor showing there from the Vikings. All right. 1st and 10. 24-17 is our score. The Saints looking to go add on to that. An inside run, and that's going to be a +1 to the defense. So 14 is D6 plus 3. So 6 yards on the run on 1st down. Nice 1st down gain there out to the 26. Touchback rules on a kickoff are the 25, but touchbacks for in the end zone or punting into the end zone or whatever is out to the 20. 2nd down, this is going to be an outside run against the blitz. That's a -1 to the defense, so 12 on an outside run is D6 plus 2. That's just a 3-yard gain, and that's going to leave them a yard short. And 3 yards. So 3rd down and 1. And let's see what they go with here. That was Williams on the run. 3rd down and 1. This is going to be a deep pass against the base defense. That will be no advantage either way. A 14 on a deep pass for New Orleans is going to be 20 yards as they go for it. This is a pass to Kamara as they get him going down the sideline. So 10, 20 yards out to the 49. And gutsy call there as they're able to get just at the number for a completion, and Minnesota's defense had no answer that time. Wow, dice going everywhere. So this is going to be an inside run. The run goes to Kamara as they don't even give him a break after that big 20-yard catch. And the inside run will be a +1. 19, that's going to be a 20. So we got a chance for a big play here for New Orleans. D10 plus 8, so 16. So that's going to be 10, 16 on the rush, or the, was it a rush? Yeah, inside rush. So right up the gut, they get 16 yards and break it away. And let's see if they add any extra yardage here. Again, our breakaway chart is here. So a 5 or greater is going to add yards to that 16. It's a 7, and it's going to be 40 extra yards. So 16 plus 40 is 56 yards from here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and that's going to be a 49-yard touchdown run for Alvin Kamara, who busts it up the middle and takes it to the house. And just like that, New Orleans takes a 14-point lead with the big run from Kamara. Wow. That was a change of events. So Minnesota had 1st and goal from the 2, can't push it in. 4 plays later, New Orleans puts it in for a touchdown. So it is 31-17. This one's getting rough. All right, Minnesota needs to get back into this one. Kickoff is going to be short, so only 60 yards on the kickoff. The run back is going to be big, another chance for another run back. So this is 40 plus, is there a breakaway? There is a breakaway. 40 plus 60 is 100, and this time they do take it back for the 100-yard touchdown. It's actually going to be just 95 yards on the touchdown. So 60 and 95 for a TD. So 60 and 100 on the return. No, 95. Wow. Okay, so Minnesota. it's getting wild and woolly. And this one, I've not had anything like this happen before. So all of this is getting real crazy here with the rolls. So just like that, 15 seconds off the clock. And Minnesota all of a sudden is back in this one. We don't even have to change New Orleans here. And the kickoff is going to be a little bit more sane this time. That's going to be a touchback. It'll be 1st and 10. And sometimes in these NFL games, you get a wild like 3 minutes. That's kind of where we've been here. You get the 49-yard touchdown from Kamara. They turn around, kick it off, and it is a 95-yard run back for a TD. Minnesota in this one, it's 24-31. They're behind by a touchdown. 1st and 10 for the Saints is going to be a short pass. It'll be a -1 to the defense. So 11 on a short pass is just the D6 result, and that's just 1 yard. Completion there, but it doesn't get much. They don't get much from it. Out to the 26. That went to Michael Thomas. 2nd down and 9. This is an outside run. And that's against the blitz. So that's going to be no advantage. 8 on an outside run is going to be for 2 yards. And that's Williams for a gain of 2 yards. So that's going to bring up 2nd down or 3rd down and 7 for the Saints. 3rd down and 7. They're going to run the draw play. So three straight running plays. This is against the nickel blitz. A draw against the nickel blitz is a 0 advantage. This is going to go to Williams again. 14 on the draw is good for D6 plus 5. So let's see. So that's going to be 10 yards, and that's going to work as they get 10 yards on the draw play for a 1st down. Nice run there by Williams. Jamal Williams, I think is his name. Saints 1st and 10 now from their own 38. This will be an inside run. That'll be for Miller. And inside run against the base is a +1 to the offense. They're going to need it. So 6 on the inside run keeps them out of negative yardage. Maybe bounces off of the defender. And they get no yards on the gain. Or on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 10 from their own 38. So 2nd down, this is another inside run. Another +1 to the offense. This is Kamara going up the middle. No success this time. As that's going to be dropped for a -2 yard loss. So Minnesota bowing up in the middle is going to bring up 3rd and long for New Orleans. So you can see that Minnesota's susceptible up the middle, but there are still negative plays that can be had. So it's fairly realistic in that way. We try to create those advantages with the play calling, but just like you could call a great play, and the defense could be in the quote-unquote wrong defense, and they still are able to keep the play at bay, or there's an incomplete pass or whatever. So try to make this pretty realistic to the way football is actually played, but also tilt it in the right directions when you're doing the play calling. So we're playing all the percentages just like you would normally do in a football game. So 3rd down and 12. 3rd down and 12. We are using our third down and long columns. So a 4 is going to be a medium pass against a base blitz. And that's going to result in a -1 advantage for the defense. So basically you get rid of this. A 9 on a medium pass is going to be incomplete, just incomplete. If it had been a 10, it would have been good for 8 yards. But you can see how the defense just creates that subtle little incompletion. So if you're wondering about how defense affects the game, it affects the game in a million different little ways, which should sway the game one way or the other. All right, 4th down and 12, and we're going to get a punt here. The punt is for 45 yards. So 10, 20, 30, 40, plus 5, down to the 19. The return is a fair catch, so no return on the play. And the Vikings will take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. So nice defensive stand there from Minnesota. After the kickoff return for a touchdown, they make a defensive stand, and they take over 1st and 10 at their own 19. This is going to be an outside run, and that will be no advantage there. The run goes to the quarterback, so it's going to be Dobbs running to the outside. And a 10 on an outside run, so it's D6, just 1 yard to the outside. Brings up 2nd down and 9. Second down and 9 for Minnesota. A little less than 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. This is an outside run to the base, which is no advantage. The run goes to Cam Akers. 13 on an outside run is good for 5 yards. So we had 1, and then 5 is out to the 25. He's going to bring up 3rd down. 3rd down and 4. So a manageable situation for the Vikings offense. Let's see if they can pick up the 1st down. This will be a medium pass against the blitz, and that goes for no advantage. The pass is going to be thrown to JJ, so Justin Jefferson. 17 on a medium pass is D10 plus 12, so this could be a really nice game. It is. That's good for 20 yards, and Jefferson has been a main and primary target for Josh Dobbs in this one, 10, 20 yards, as they take it out to the 45-yard line. Good to see that connection in this game. I think JJ is up nearing 100 yards at this point into the 3rd quarter. 1st down and 10 from the 45. It's an inside run against the blitz. That's a -2. That's about as good as the defense can get. This is Madison up the gut. 6 minus 2 is 4 on the inside run. This is going to be a tackle for a loss of 1 yard. As the blitz gets home, and it will be 2nd down and 11 for Minnesota. 2nd and 11. This is a medium pass against the nickel blitz, and that'll be no advantage. The pass is going to go to Alexander Madison out of the backfield. 15 on a medium pass, D10 plus 8. So 16 yards, good to the running back there, and that'll pick up a 1st down. As they swing it out, that's going to take us to the 4th quarter. So we'll say that's 10 plus 5 out to the 41. Oh, sorry, 6 to the 40. And that's going to take us to the 4th quarter. A good one here, 31-24, and Minnesota driving there on the Saints side of the field. 1st and 10 at the Saints 40, and this will be a screen pass against the blitz, and that's good for a +2 advantage to Minnesota. Screen pass is going to go to Jefferson, so let's see what he can make happen here. 12 plus 2 is 14 on the screen, and that's good for 8 yards. Brings up 2nd down and 2 from the 32. We get another screen pass again to Jefferson, as they doing the same thing with as the Saints did with Thomas. Just throw it out to JJ. All right, so this is screen against the base. A little better for the defense, but still a +1 to the offense. So 7-8 on the screen is good for 4 yards. That's enough to pick up the first down. And that's going to lead to a 1st and 10 from the 28 for Minnesota. First down play is a medium pass, and that's going to go against the blitz. No advantage, but the pass is going to go to Jordan Addison. It's a 17 on a medium pass, D10 plus 12. And that's going to be good for 21 yards, as Dobbs is hot coming out in the 4th quarter. 21-yard pass for the first down is going to take it down to the 7, as Addison makes a nice catch and run. And that's going to be 1st and goal for Minnesota from the 7-yard line. First down play is an inside run against a goal line defense. Not a great call. This will be Madison up the gut. 15 minus 2 is 13, so that's going to be good for 5 yards as he guts it up the middle and gets them within 2 of the goal line. Second down and goal from the 2. Minnesota with the outside run. Sorry about that, against the base defense. That's going to be no advantage to the defense. Outside run is to Chandler, so they hand it off. A 15 on an outside run is good for 6 yards, and that's going to be a 2-yard score for Tyson Chandler as he punches it in on the outside. And Minnesota, kicking the extra point, makes the makes the extra point. First points excuse me. First points of the 4th quarter, and we're all tied up. So it is 31-31, and we have 12.5 minutes left in the game. Minnesota will be kicking off to New Orleans. Kickoff goes for 66 plus 5, so 71 yards. We're gonna put that in our back pocket, bring it out to the 25, so that's gonna be a touchback for Minnesota. So New Orleans will start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. 65 yards is down to the goal line, so what was it, 71 yards is, you know, what was that, 6 yards deep in the end zone. Not going to run that one out. All right, 1st and 10 for the Saints, all tied up. Can the Saints drive the field and take the lead? That is the question. Short pass against the base defense is going to be -1 to the defense. This pass goes to Shaheed. 18 minus 1 is 17 on a short pass, is good for 8 yards. So nice pitch and catch there. Brings up 2nd down and 2. Got everything here. Got everything here, and 2nd down and 2 for the Saints. Inside run against the base, that's pretty good. That's a +1 to the offense. The run is to Miller. And 11-12 on the inside run is good for 4 yards. So that's a pick up a 1st down. Saints have had pretty good running success against Minnesota. 49-yard 1st down tends to help. That was actually a touchdown. So, all right, 1st and 10. It is a short pass against the blitz, so no advantage there. The pass is going to go out to Thomas, and 14 on the short pass. D6 plus 2 is a 4, so short gain on 1st down. Takes it out to the 41. 2nd down and 6 for the Saints. Short pass again, this time against the base defense. That's going to be a -1 to the offense again. Well, this time it goes out to Johnson. I'm not sure who Johnson is, but short pass. Sorry, I gotta get myself back. Short pass against the base is a -1. So 15 on a short pass, D6 plus 4 is 6. And that is exactly what they needed for the first down. We're gonna go and challenge that. Minnesota has another challenge. So they needed 6 yards, they got 6 yards. Minnesota is challenging the catch. They're going to challenge the catch. You can challenge the catch. If I challenge the catch, then and they win, it winds up being 3rd and 6 as opposed to 3rd and 1. So we're going to challenge the catch. And what do we have here? We have our coach's challenge. So 1, 2, 9, or 10, and the catch is overturned. It becomes an incomplete pass. Ho ho ho! It's a 2. It was overturned, and so that's going to be an incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up 3rd down and 6. As all of our coaches' challenges, that's how I'm going to play it here. You use it, and it's gone. So Minnesota's used both of their challenges. I think the real rule is that you retain one challenge maybe if you get it right. I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm making up my own challenge rules here. So Minnesota's out of challenges. This brings up 3rd down and 6 to the Saints. We'll probably throw like a 78-yard touchdown here. This is going to be a screen pass to a base blitz. And that's no advantage. Screen pass is going to go to Johnson. 11 on a screen pass is a D6 plus 1. So that's a 4-yard gain. And that takes it out to the 45. That's going to bring up 4th down. So look who played that really well. So 4-yard gain does not give them the first down. And well played, Coach Hafferkamp. Thank you. And Minnesota's going to get the ball back with 10 minutes left and an opportunity to take the lead. The punt is going to be 50 yards. So 50 yards takes it down to the 5. They may have to go forever and a day. We'll see. It's going to be a 30-yard punt return. But it's a 10, so we have a chance for a breakaway here. So let's roll our D10. It's a 3. 3 is no breakaway. So on the 10, that's going to be 30 yards, 10, 20, 30. So the run is out to the 35. 50-yard kick with a 30-yard return. And that brings up 1st and 10, 10 minutes left. Minnesota with the ball. They are at their own 35-yard line. A lot of drama and excitement in this one. And here we go. 31-31 is our score. Minnesota 1st and 10 is going to be an inside run against a base defense. That's tough sledding there. Who is it? The run goes to the quarterback, so it's like a little, maybe a busted play, quarterback run up the middle. A 3 is going to be turned into a 2, and that's going to be a fumble. As Josh Dobbs fumbles on the carry. And we'll see if it's a turnover or not. There's an opportunity for the offense to recover if we roll a 4, 5, or 6. It is not. It's the line of scrimmage plus a D6. And so line of scrimmage plus 1. So the fumble plus 1. So New Orleans is going to take over at the 36. Defense recovers. And that is going to be a very costly turnover. Second fumble of the game. They had a lot of fumble problems, Minnesota did, this last year. And it rears its ugly head at the worst possible time and in the worst possible position as New Orleans takes over at the Minnesota 36, almost within field goal range at this point. Actually, they are. They're at 53 yards, so they're inside field goal range. Be kind of a tough one for them, but man, that is not good. So 1st and 10, New Orleans. And I'm just marking their last possession here. So 1st and 10. This is an inside run against the blitz, and that's no advantage. The run will go to Miller, and it is 13 on an inside run. Is good for 5 yards. That takes it down to the 31, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 5. Well within field goal range at this point. This will be a 5. That's an outside run, and that goes to the base. So that's going to be no advantage. The run goes to Taysom Hill as he takes the ball around the corner, and he's going to get dropped for a loss of 2 yards. So that puts the ball at the 33. Nice play there on the edge by the Minnesota defense. 3rd down and 7. Is that right? Yeah. 3rd and 7 for the Saints. Short pass against the base. So that's a -1 to the defense. The pass is going to go out to Shaheed. 14 minus 1 is 13 on a short pass. Is good for 5 yards. That's going to take it down to the 28, but that brings up 4th down and 2. And they're definitely going to go ahead and kick the field goal here. So that negative play was really important. Otherwise, it would have led to a 1st down. So every little thing in football counts, man. All right, the kick is going to be for 45 yards. They need at least a roll of a 4 to make the kick. They roll a 9, and so that's going to be a 45-yard field goal for the Saints. They have a couple of 40-plus yard field goals, and they are going to take a 3-point lead with 7.5 minutes left in the game. They'll be kicking off to the Vikings. This one is tight. This one is getting close. Can Josh Dobbs bring them back? He's already got 2 turnovers in this one. We got 2 fumbles and an interception. 1 fumble I don't believe was his, but 1 was. So he's got a fumble and an interception, and he's still got an opportunity to win the game. The kickoff here is going to go for 67 yards. The return is for 38 yards. 67 is 2 yards deep. So that's out to the 36. So nice return. And return game has been strong for Minnesota in this one. 67 and 38. And Minnesota will take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. They don't have to go the full length of the field. They're only 64 yards away. And let's see if they can push it in for a touchdown and take the lead. 4 is going to be an inside run against the base. So that's -1 to the defense. That's Chandler up the middle. An 8 on an inside run is just a 1-yard gain. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 9. 6.5 minutes left in the ball game. New Orleans has clinging to a 3-point lead. And let's see if their defense can hold in this one. 2nd down and 9. This will be an outside run against the base. That's no advantage, but it'll be the quarterback running to the outside, and could be a big play here for Josh Dobbs. Outside run, D6 plus 8. That's going to be 14 yards. That's about as good as you could do on the running. Excuse me. On the running play. So a little RPO out there. 10, 13, 14. That's going to get Minnesota over to the New Orleans side of the field. Nice 14-yard pickup there for Josh Dobbs, who won a couple of games with his legs, quite honestly. And let's see if they can do the same here. 1st and 10. This is going to be a short pass that's out to KJ Osborne. So short pass is going to be a -1 to the defense 14 minus 1 is 13. On a short pass, D6 plus 3, 8. So a nice little 8-yard gain there. Dobbs to Osborne. And that's going to bring up 2nd down and 2 for Minnesota. Plenty of time here. 5.5 minutes left in the game. We got an outside run, and that's going to go to Chandler. Chandler hitting the corner against the base defense. Is going to be no advantage to the defense. So 10 on an outside run, a D6. Let's see if they can get a nice roll here. It's average. So Chandler picks up 3, getting to the outside. That brings up 3rd down. 1, 2, 3. That is actually a 1st down. 1st down run for Chandler as he gets just past the 1st down marker. 1st and 10 from the New Orleans 38. Minnesota with the inside run against the blitz. That's going to be a -2. That's Chandler up the gut. Got a nice roll here. 17 minus 2 is 15 on the inside run as 2 D6s added together. That's 10 yards. So they catch him on the blitz and he gets through a little seam up the middle. That's going to be 1st and 10. From the 28. So Minnesota driving here, 4.5 minutes left in the game. Trying to bleed the clock a little bit. And at some point, New Orleans might have to start thinking about timeouts just to preserve some time on the clock. This is a 5 short pass against the base defense. And that'll be a -1 to the defense. The pass is going to go to Addison. 17 minus 1 is 16 on the short pass. D10 plus 2. So that's good for 6 yards. 4 minutes left in the game. Brings up 2nd down and 6. Or 2nd and 4. Sorry. From the 22. Sorry, I gotta roll that again. I don't think I rolled all the dice. All right, 2nd down. This is going to be an outside run to a base defense, and that's a 0. So no advantage. The run goes to Madison this time. 9 on the outside run is good for 2 yards. That takes it down to the 20. And I tell you what, New Orleans is going to call their first time out here. And so that keeps the clock from moving. So we're going to have 3rd down and 3. And they will have stopped the clock just to make sure. All right, because Minnesota is able to kick the field goal here from, this would be a 37-yard field goal, and basically it's good at this point. We won't even have to roll for it as long as they don't lose any yardage. So New Orleans needs to preserve a little bit of time so they can get down the field for a game-winning field goal. So we got 3rd down and 3. So you can see there's some coaching strategy here. Like when you introduce a clock, now you're introducing a whole level of strategy, right? So it's a little bit different than just using possessions, although you could do that too. 3rd down and 3. We got a deep pass. I don't know about this. Josh Dobbs going for it. Going for the jugular. This is against the blitz, so we got a perfect play. Deep pass against the blitz is a +1. And he's trying to get to JJ. He's going to the right place. We got a terrible roll here. We got a 3. A 3 plus 1 is a 4. And on the deep pass, Josh Dobbs runs around. And they might be knocking themselves out of field goal position here. Just a loss of 1. So we wind up giving that. That's a sack. First sack of the game for either team. Man, that's a killer. So 4th down, 3.5 minutes left, and they lose 1 yard. So this is going to be a 38-yard kick. 38 yards is good. We don't even have to roll for that one. And Minnesota ties up the game at 34. And we'll take 15 seconds off of that. So 3:15 left in the game. Minnesota has to kick off to New Orleans. And we'll see if the Saints have a game-winning drive in them. It was Jameis Winston and Carr in this one. David Carr. David? Derek. Mixing up the Carr brothers. David was when I was younger. Derek. I don't know who was playing first and who was playing last. I want to say it was Jameis Winston coming in trying to win the game for them, so this feels like a Jameis Winston moment, i.e. an interception is coming. So we're going to kick off here. That's a 5 on the kickoff. That's a touchback. 75 yards is no movement there. 75 yards is what New Orleans has for a touchdown. Less than that for a field goal. Probably need 40 yards or so. For a field goal, we've got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left. They have 2 timeouts. They also have the 2-minute warning there. So let's see. First down is an inside run against the blitz. That's a 0, and that's Kamara up the middle. It's good for 5 yards. We're actually going to put them in the hurry-up offense. So you can do that. You can just put them in the hurry-up, and every play is 15 seconds. So they're going to be in the hurry-up offense. They got a little bit of ways to go here. Brings up second down and 5. And outside run again to the blitz is going to be a -1. This is Kamara on the outside. A 3 on the outside run is a tackle for loss minus a D10. So this could be big. Turns out to only be -2 yards. But they're going backwards, and that's not how they want to go. Does take a tick off the clock. Brings up third down and 6. Third down and 6 from the 29. You're going to throw the medium pass here. And the medium pass against a blitz is going to be a -1 to the defense. The pass is going to go to Shaheed. 14 minus 1 is 13 on a medium pass. And that's a D10 plus 4. So big roll here. Oh my gosh. 14 yards on the gain. So 10 and 14 takes it to the 43. Huge play there for the Saints. Nice pickup on third and medium, I guess. All right. 1st and 10, New Orleans from their own 43. It's a screen against the base. Against the base blitz, sorry. That's a 0. Screen is going to go to Olave. 19 is our roll, so great roll. D10 plus D6. And that's an 11-yard pickup on first down. As they pick up the first, 2:15 left in the game. So that's going to be 10, 11. They're all the way out to the 46. First down and 10. This is an inside run to the base defense. That's a +1. This will be Miller up the gut. 13 on the inside run is good for 5 yards. Brings up second down. Second and 5 from their own 41. The screen pass is -1 advantage to the defense. The screen is going to go out to Thomas. 15 on the screen pass is a D10. Come on, 1. That's what we need. Oh, 4. That's okay too. So 4-yard gain on first down. I'm sorry, on second down. Brings up third down and 1 from the 37. 1 minute and 45 seconds left in the game. In fact, you know what? Minnesota's going to take a timeout here. Take their first timeout. Just to try to preserve a little bit of time here. New Orleans is going to run this right up the gut against a blitz. So that's no advantage. The run is to Kamara, straight up the middle. 10 on a run up the gut is 3 yards, and they're going to pick up the first down. Minnesota calls another timeout just to try to preserve a little clock here. Already within field goal range. This is a 51-yard kick. First and 10 for New Orleans. Inside run against the base defense is a +1 advantage to the offense. This is Miller up the gut. 14 plus 1 is 15. That's 2 D6s added together, and that's a killer. 12. Wow. Yikes. As they bust it up the middle through the Minnesota defense. And I tell you, they're going to get out of this and just go and let the clock run down a little bit as they get the 12-yard gain for a first down. They're at 39 yards now, so they're in this column. There's only one opportunity for a miss, so they're all but guaranteed the win here. Actually, Minnesota's going to call their last timeout. Let's do that. Okay, so Minnesota's out of timeouts, and the Saints are willing to just run this one right up the gut against the blitz, and that's going to be no advantage. So the run is to Kamara. A 2, though. A 2 is a fumble. Oh my gosh. As Kamara fumbles the ball away. Wow. I have to tell you, this is more turnovers than we've seen in a while. So, it's really hard to roll a 2. And we've rolled 3 of them in this game. It's hard to roll a 2 or 3, and we've had interceptions. So, it's really more turnovers than normal. Okay, so we got a fumble on the play. There's still a chance that the offense can retain possession over here if they roll a 4, 5, or 6. It was a run up the middle. Of course it's an 8. So line of scrimmage minus a D10. So the ball is picked up and run 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So that's out to the 29. Minnesota takes over first and 10 at their own 29. And what are the odds they can get a big play here? So we're going to play the we're definitely in hurry up offense territory. There are no more timeouts. We got to throw a deep pass on first down. And I think New Orleans is going to run a dime defense. So I'm going to try to play this out. They're not going to be running a base defense with 70 yards left to go and a minute and a half in the game. So we'll call it a dime defense against the deep pass. So these two basically don't mean anything. This is going to go to Alexander Madison to try to get a deep ball up the middle. Deep against a dime defense is a -3. So basically it takes this away. 7 on a deep pass is a quarterback hurry. It's going to bring up second down. And sorry, I'm just marking off my possessions here. All right, second down. So it's going to throw the medium pass. Maybe a little better opportunity. Still against a dime defense. Medium against a dime. This is going to go to Addison. Medium against a dime is only a -2. And that's a 9. That's still another quarterback hurry, as he's having to hold on to the ball to let everybody get downfield. And we're running out of chances here. Another medium pass. Another dime defense. We know the drill. This is going to be a -2. Pass goes to KJ Osborne. And, of course, they're rolling these tiny little rolls. So 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 on a medium pass is a sack of 3 yards. And we're running out of time here, as we're all tied up. -3 yards takes it down to the 26. And let's go ahead and chunk a deep pass against the dime defense. That's going to be a -3. They need a huge roll, which they didn't get. So pass goes to Alexander Madison again down the middle of the field. 10 minus 3 is 7. 7 is going to be an incompletion. And that is going to be 4th down. So we're going to get a punt. New Orleans is going to get a chance. If they run this back, I don't know what to do. Let's just roll. Of course, it's a terrible little punt. Alright, so it's actually a chance for a punt block. You can see here, 1 is a chance for a punt block. That little asterisk means you need to roll again. If they roll a 1 again, then this is a punt block, and that changes everything in the entire game. Oh, thankfully. Alright, but it's still a terrible little kick. It's 30 yards. Where were we? We were at the 26. So 30 yards on the kick. So that's 10, 20, 30. And this play is going to take 15 seconds. So we have 1 chance for a Hail Mary. The return is a 2. A 2 is going to be a fair catch. So we got one last play here, and that is for a Hail Mary. So there's 15 seconds left on the clock. A Hail Mary is anything 96 to 100. So what we do is we roll these 2 D10 dice. And if it's a 96 to 100, it's a completion for a touchdown. Otherwise, it's incomplete, and we go to overtime. We read the offense number first, so 26. That's an incompletion. And time expires. And we go to overtime. Oh boy. So the overtime rules are, I think the same as what we saw in the Super Bowl, so except for the sudden death part. So each team gets a shot. They play it like it's a new game. Each team gets a shot at scoring. If one team scores and the other team doesn't, that team wins. If they both score, then the next team to score wins. If they play an entire quarter, I believe it goes to a tie. This is for the kickoff. So Minnesota wins the toss. And this was a big thing in the Super Bowl, right? What do? Do you take the ball first, or do you kick off first? I'm going to do what everybody said to do, which is you kick off first. Because if you get a stop, you got good field position, and you don't have to go as far. So Minnesota's going to kick off. And so New Orleans is going to get the OT kickoff. I don't need to do anything there. So New Orleans will receive. Minnesota will kick off. So a little chance to put some strategy that everybody's been talking about so much from the Super Bowl into actual play. The kickoff is 67 yards. That goes 2 yards deep in the end zone. The return is pretty good, 30 yards plus a D10. So 38 yards on the return. It's going to go out to the 36 with the 2 yards deep. So we take our 15 off, and that'll be 67 plus 38. All right, so interesting game here. We're going into OT. The Saints with their first opportunity in overtime. This will be an inside run against a base. The inside run goes to Williams, and that's a 16. That's 2 D6s. So 11 yards on the inside pop there for the Saints. Brings up first down. First down and 10 from their own 47. This will be a screen pass against the blitz. That is no advantage. The screen pass goes to Alvin Kamara. And an 8 on a screen pass is going to be good for 1 yard. So nicely played by Minnesota. as they stuff up the middle on that pass. 2nd down and 9. Outside run against the base is no advantage. So the run is to Kamara. 7 on the outside run is good for 0 yards. So Minnesota's defense stiffening up here after the initial 11-yard scamper on 1st down on this drive. 3rd down, this is a screen pass to the base defense. A -1 to the defense. The pass is going to go to Johnson. We've got a 13, -1 is 12. 12 on a screen is a D6 plus 2. So 4 yards on the screen pass. 1, 2, 3, 4 is going to leave them short. And they're going to have to punt. We have a special punting chart for these situations where you're inside the 50. It's called a, I don't know, we call it a coffin corner punt. That's how people usually talk about it. So we roll 1d10, and then we see, we just see where it goes out. A 10 is the ball goes out of bounds at the 2-yard line. It's an 8, and that's a pretty good punt. It's going to go out of bounds at the 8-yard line, so Minnesota's going to take over 1st and 10 at their own 8. So they're pinned back deep, and the way I like to do that is I write it down as 48, and so 48 down to the 8, and then I'll just call it out of bounds. So there's no chance for a return on the coffin corner punt. The idea is you're kicking it out of bounds in order to keep the other team from scoring and try to get the ball down as far as possible. All right, 1st and 10, Vikings. If they can drive and score here, they win the game. So a 3 is going to be an outside run against the base. That's no advantage to the defense. That's Chandler on the outside. That's good for 1 yard. Brings up 2nd down and 9. Second down and 9. This is an outside run against the base defense. That's no advantage there. This will be Madison to the outside. 8. Another 1 yard gain. And tough sledding there for the Vikings. They pick up a couple of 1 yard runs. 3rd down and 8. Dobbs is going to have to throw this one. We're going to call it a medium pass against the base defense. That's a +1 advantage to Minnesota. The pass is going to go to Hawkinson, who we haven't talked much about here. Medium pass. The pass is defended. And that is Evans. Oh, I'm sorry. Not Evans. Matthew on the pass deflection and pass defense. So that's going to bring up 4th down. We're going to have to punt here. All of a sudden, both offenses run cold a little bit in the overtime, which means each team has gotten a chance. Nobody's scored. Next team to score wins the game. So that changes your strategy just a little bit. Minnesota with the 35-yard punt and a fair catch. So we'll say 10, 20, 30, and 5. So that's going to be a fair catch at the 45. They really needed a better punt than that, but didn't get it. So inside Minnesota territory, the Saints take over 1st and 10. They really only need about 15 yards and they're in field goal range. And let's see if they can get it done. This is an inside run against a blitz, and that's going to be no advantage. The run goes to Kamara. 14 on an inside run is D6 plus 3. And that's good for 6 yards. So just marking off these possessions here. That's good for 6 yards. 2 ticks off the clock, and that takes it down to the 39-yard line. 2nd and 4. This is an outside run to a blitz, and that's a -1 to the defense. This is Kamara on the outside. 6 on an outside run is good for no yards. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 4. Bring up 3rd down and 4. Let's see what they got here. They are technically out of field goal range, so they need another yard. For me, I use the field goal long as a gauge for how long they need to be at 55 or less yards to complete the kick. So 3rd down. This is going to be a deep pass against the blitz. That's a -1 advantage to the defense. The pass is going to go to Olave, so they're taking their chance here. It's a 20. And it becomes a 19 on the deep pass, 28 yards. 10, 20, plus 8, down to the 11. Huge play in the game. As they hit on the big time pass, deep pass. I don't know how Minnesota let that get by, but probably Winston to Olave with the deep pass, and they are definitely within field goal range now, but let's see if they punch it in or not. Short pass against the base is a -1. Pass is going to go to Kamara. 16 on a short pass is a D10. That's good for 5 yards. Down to the 6. Brings up 2nd down and 5. Screen pass against the blitz is a 0. So the screen is going to go to Shaheed. An 11 on a screen is D6 plus 1. If this is a 6, that's a touchdown and a game ender. It's not. So, actually, you didn't need a 6, did he? That is, he runs it in for a touchdown, so 6. So 5 plus 1 is a 6-yard gain, and just like that, this one is over. As New Orleans is going to win this one. It is 40-34 is going to be our final score as they complete the touchdown. The big pass to Olave for 28 yards was a huge one. Huge play in the game in overtime. The terrible punt from Minnesota, the really good coffin corner punt. So all these things add up to a New Orleans win. New Orleans actually lost this one in real life. But we've got 28 plus 12 is 40. And then we've got 28 plus 6 is 34. So 40-34 is our score. High scoring affair. This one goes into overtime. And the Saints come out with the win. I'm pretty sure I played the overtime rules correctly on that. Someone might correct me. I'm not sure. But let me put this on pause and I'll come back with the totals and we'll see how everybody did. All right, and back with the totals here. This is going to be New Orleans beats Minnesota 40-34. Minnesota had a strong fourth quarter, came back to tie the game. Everybody had a chance to win it at the end and no one could. In fact, the Saints had a fumble in here, right here, that ended their opportunity late. Was that was in the overtime. So 33 of 41 for 260 yards. That's the passing for the Saints. They had 3 touchdowns passing and 1 interception. Rushing 29 for 141 yards, 2 TDs, and a fumble, including a long 49-yard TD here, and just a 1-yard plunge. 27-yard TD pass from, it was probably Derek Carr, not sure. For the Vikings, 26 of 38, 248 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. A 10 and 11 yard touchdown. There, they were sacked one or twice. They had 2 sacks. So maybe somewhere in there. 30 men. 30 yards or 30 carries for 129 yards. 1 TD, just a 2-yard plunge, but they did have 2 fumbles. This one was a Josh Dobbs fumble. That was a killer at the end of the game. Wasn't the last possession that they had, but it was pretty close as they were trying to drive down and either take the lead or tie the game. So 40-34 is the final here. Minnesota falls to 5-5 on this season, and they are pretty close to where they were. I think they came out of this game 6-4, and I have them at 5-5. So a couple of close games, like this one they won in real life. There was another one that they dropped in real life, but they won on the tabletop. So we'll see how that goes. I'm also this version, I didn't play with some of the earlier games, so who knows how those would have turned out. Maybe they would have turned out a little bit differently as well. So about halfway through the season, I made some pretty big changes to the game, and just the last few games have been played using this updated team card. So you get all this with the game. You're going to get your normal and goal line charts. You're going to get all your special plays. I'm going to include this score sheet here. Maybe I can add a few things here to help you keep track of some of these numbers here, so you don't have to total them up all the time. You'll just kind of have them totaled up here, and you'll know on each play I need to add 2 or subtract 1 or whatever it is. You'll get the team cards, which look like this. So they have all the plays here that you resolve. They have all the kicking. They have their team adjustments and their base defense. The player finder is down here that I've been referencing. If there's a penalty or a tackle for loss, you can find a player here, whether it's on offense or defense. And there's a few things here. If you want a more simplified extra point and field goal system, you can just simply roll 2d10s against this field goal or extra point number, and that creates more of a simplified system than using broken out by 10-yard increments. This is a little bit more detailed. On a block kick, I haven't really called that, but if you roll a 1, it's just like a block punt. You'll have to roll a 1 again to get the block kick, and that's going to give you that 1% opportunity, which is a lot closer to real life. So if it's not that, and you roll a 1 and then you roll, let's say, a 5, then it would simply be a missed kick. So that's outlined in the rules, and it'll come with the game guide as well. I'll probably include a generic version of this sheet here that's got the field and has the clock and the downs, and it'll probably just won't have the no huddle football on it. And there's also something called momentum cards, which we haven't talked about, but an opportunity to add a +1 or a -1 on offense or defensive plays, depending on which team has momentum. So let's say on a play like this, where you have a 49-yard touchdown, that would swing the momentum to New Orleans, and then they would draw from a momentum card draw pile. So you'd have an offense and a defense momentum card draw pile. So they would draw from the offense, since the big play was on offense. And then they would have momentum for a specified amount of time. It says, for the rest of the drive, or for the rest of the quarter, for the rest of the half. There's also a home field advantage card on there. So whoever is the home team can start with a +1 advantage. And then the other team, once they have a big play, can wrest that momentum away from the home team. So it's just a way to kind of create more interesting types of matchups, give lesser teams, quote unquote, an opportunity to stay in the game against better teams, that type of thing. So there's a momentum system, and can't remember exactly, maybe there's something else to include, but you'll get all this in one package. And I'm going to list it at $20. So it's only PDF. You'll get an instant download, plus there'll be a download link sent to your email. So if you can't download it right at that moment, it'll go to your email and you can download it through the email. You'll also have opportunities if you, for some reason, you change your computer or whatever, and you need to re-download the game, you don't have to repurchase it. You can just go back using that download link in your email and download all the game files. If you ever have any issues, you can always email me at clarkandaddisongaming@gmail.com, and I'll help you out with that. What I don't do is print out the games for you and ship them to you. That's not a service that I have. And when you pay, it's all online payments, so I don't take checks or money orders or anything like that. So the payment system that I use for my games is super simple. You can use PayPal, or you can use a debit or credit card. Very easy interface, and if there are any sales and things like that, I can run those as well. So it's a really good interface. I haven't had a lot of people have issues with things. Occasionally there will be an issue with PayPal or something like that on their end. But as far as the payment processor, they've always been rock solid for me. So this is Play Action Football. I hope you enjoyed the first and the second half. Again, it's kind of easy to get in and out of the game. And this is Saturday morning, so I have a little bit more time to kind of finish up and do the second half here. But you can see we are at 1 hour and 26 minutes. That's me talking plus an overtime, right? And an overtime that didn't end, immediately. So the game plays pretty fast. You should be able to get a full game in under 2 hours, especially if you're not doing any recording or any extra sort of screen time or having to talk to anybody. But the game plays quickly, way faster than most play-by-play football games, and I believe that's one of its strengths. But you also come out with full stats, and if you wanted to break down these stats by player, you could, or if you had a score sheet like that. Or what you could do is you could take this, let's say for Minnesota, you could take this 248 yards, and then you can just multiply by whatever these percentages are. So that's 30%, 20%, 20 or 30%, 10%, 10%. So you could just multiply by whoever played in the game, and then you can say 30% of this 248 goes to TJ Hawkinson, 20% of this 248 goes to Addison, etc. So you can sort of break out the statistics from the team statistics. You can break that out, and then over the course of the season, or you can keep all statistics for the season, and then at the very end you can take their totals and you can break those out per position player, however you wanted to do it, or you can keep up with it actually as the game goes along. That's going to slow down your gameplay a little bit, but definitely is an option to just roll every single time like I was doing, and then attributing those plays to those players as they make catches and stuff like that. So definitely a couple of different ways that you can go about it. I like the flexibility of being able to do that, and whenever you do percentages, it allows you to break those things down in different ways in real time, or going back after the fact and sort of attributing things to those players. All right. Yeah, I think that's it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section. If you haven't subscribed to the channel but you like what I'm doing here, click on subscribe, and there'll be lots more content coming out, whether it's this game or up-tempo basketball or on-base baseball or any other baseball games that I'm working on. Precision baseball is sort of out in the future. The next thing up will probably be the projected player stats, the projected roster sheets for on-base baseball. So we're getting real close to March, and I think once we get to March, I'll have those final stats and be able to push out the projected roster sheets, which will allow you to play the MLB season 2024 pre-play. So you can start in spring training, or you can just pre-play the entire season if you wanted to, or play along with the season with numbers that are projected as opposed to the actual numbers. So when the season finishes, then we'll have the actual numbers to be able to create the 2024 card set. So that's out in the future. That's probably the next thing. I have up-tempo basketball 2009 and 10. That'll be the next up-tempo season. So lots of great players in there. You're going to get Kobe Bryant and Kevin Garnett, I think, is toward the end of his career. You have Tim Duncan toward the end of his career. Some really great players still in the NBA. Sort of that crossover time between the early 2000s and the modern time. So, you know, Steph Curry was young. He was like 21, 2, 3, something like that. And so you're getting, you know, it's a sort of a sweet crossover period with guys who are still playing today, kind of the old guys who are playing today, and the ones who are old, you know, from when I was in college and, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. You're going to get some of those crossover pieces. So a real fun season. There were like 4 teams in the West that had won 50 plus games, something ridiculous, and it was a big race to the finish. I think San Antonio, they won 52 games, and they were like a 6 seed or something, 4 seed or a 6 seed, something ridiculous. And it was just a lot of really good basketball, especially in the Western Conference. LA was strong, and somebody else was strong. San Antonio, Phoenix, with Amari Stoudemire, and I think Steve Nash was still playing back then. So they had a strong team in Phoenix as well. All right, so that'll be next. And always got something on the back burner. Just released 1967, so you're into 60s baseball, on-base baseball. I have the complete carded set for 1967, so you get all the hitters and pitchers from that season. And so go pick that up. That's at clarkandaddisongaming.com, clarkandaddisongaming.com, and you can check that out. And if you haven't joined the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. You're going to get lots of data, information, me sharing things before they come out, that kind of stuff. I'll sometimes share the same things later on in different Facebook groups, but you'll get it first if you're joined into the Clark and Addison Facebook group. All right, I think that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.